Good evening, everyone. Usually I say good morning because I'm hosting these things in the morning. This is the first one that's going to be in the evening. So good evening. Um, it is starting to get dark here now. It is like 7 o'clock and it's like pitch black outside. But anyway, it's been a great day. We are continuing our series with speaking with our speakers that will be at the Signature CEO Conference this year. We have a great dynamic lineup. I am so excited for the people that are going to be there. We have anywhere from an attorney to a financial person to a CEO to people that are just very, very talented within their own profession. And I am really, really excited to have them here. So today we're going to continue our talk with Miss Sandy Hammer. I am really excited to have her. She is the founder and CMO of AllSeated. And if any of you are in the event planning industry, you probably utilize their software to do very dynamic room diagrams for your events. And so I met Sandy last year, communicated with her company via social media. They came to the conference last year. She is just like full of life and loved her. I love AllSeated. I use AllSeated for my events and invited her back because this time she's going to be speaking. She's not only a sponsor this year, she's a speaker. So I'm really excited to have her. But before I bring her up to speak, I'm just going to read a little bit about her background here for you. So, and Sandy is in New York City, if you hear all that noise. So she's that is the rustle and bustle of New York.
It is.
So Sandy comes with her own entrepreneurial experience of having started 2 businesses and for over 20 years in marketing and business development experience and publishing, art, and high-tech industries. Sandy founded Conference Art, a company that produces corporate conferences, seminars, forums, and brokerage events around the world for customers such as Orange Global, Telefonica, and O2 UK, as well as many startups in Israel and the UK. AllSeated is the first online collaboration platform built specifically for the events industry by industry professionals themselves. They know that planning an event, whether it's a wedding, a charity function, or a corporate meeting, requires constant attention to detail and ongoing coordination between venues, event planners, vendors, and event hosts. And that's exactly what AllSeated serves. It's that one platform that connects us all to put on elaborate events. So ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I present to you Miss Sandy Hammer. Hi, Sandy. How are you?
Hi, Tara. I'm great and thrilled to be here tonight. And I apologize for the noise. I put my earphones on to try and block out some of it, but it is Manhattan. I'm not sitting in London. I might sound like I'm sitting in London, but I'm not. But I'm thrilled to be here, and you're doing an amazing job. I love what you're doing. We're big fans of yours as well. It goes both ways. And I guess, you know, your introduction was a great introduction, but I have to tell you, working in the high-tech industry, I was a corporate planner for 10 years for a high-tech company. Okay. So I always say I was the most frustrated person in the world because I knew that technology could be built for us. And I really understood, you know, I didn't understand heavy technology. I was not the techie person that wrote code or anything, but I worked with them all the time. And after a few years, I felt like I could just write the program, you know, like how complicated is it? They just sit there and they code, plus, minus. You know, I was always convinced I could do this myself. But of course, AllSeated took about 1.5 years to build of serious code. And it's a really amazing program that actually my team are gamers. They're all from the gaming industry. So they built AllSeated as a mass market product in a gaming environment.
So how did AllSeated come about?
So AllSeated came about really from my major frustrations in my work environment. I tell this story, some of you might have heard it, some of you not, but my story is that running corporate events, I had a very interesting career, but we all know that events, you know, the glamour is not really there. We work like crazy. It's hard work. People behind the scenes, people in the front scenes have got no idea what it takes for us, what we're doing in the behind the scenes. And it's very hard work. But I had an interesting career because I ran events all over the world. And my last event that happened 5 years ago was my last event. I had because we were wining and dining our customers, we were always looking for very exotic places. We were never going to a Marriott or a Hilton or anywhere where I'd actually get a floor plan. It was always some like very obscure place and something like in the middle of nowhere. And the event that we did was in north of Italy, and we'd taken over a castle. Beautiful, beautiful place. It was on acres of land. The castle was magnificent. And I was extremely confident. I'd been 4 times on my site tours. I'd gone with my rulers and my tape measure and my tape measure, and I'd drawn out every single angle and every single space. I was convinced I'd got everything right over and over and over again. And we built exhibitions because while we wined and dined them at night, during the day we tried to sell our products. So it was a very big investment from our side. We built big stations and exhibition terminals to promote the products. A lot of money went into it, and we built everything abroad because it was cheaper. And I'd had again, loads of floor plans and everything. And we arrived at 11 o'clock at night with about 50 crates. All we had to do was sort of like Lego everything in. It was going to be very easy, unpack everything and just Lego everything in. And when we arrived there with the 50 crates in the yards, in this beautiful, beautiful entrance, I suddenly realized I'd never measured the front door of the castle. I'd never took that measurement. So there we were standing with all these crates, and I looked at the front door of the castle and I realized, shit, nothing is going to fit through that door. Nothing we were going to unpack in these crates were going to fit through the door. So there I stood. 11 o'clock at night, we were opening up at 9 o'clock in the morning. Everybody was arriving first thing in the morning. We had the CEO presentation at 9 o'clock in the morning. So we hired the 20 people that lived in the village. We literally knocked on their doors and bribed them to come out that night and take apart everything we'd built. We flew in 2 carpenters from Rome to come and build everything through the night. I can't even tell you what it cost us. Forget any of that. And lo and behold, we actually did it. We worked through the night and we built everything out. But in the morning, I arrived after my CEO had given his presentation and was amazed at everything that had happened. I handed in my resignation and I said to him, and he's like, why would you like hand in your resignation? And I said, well, you haven't seen the bill that's about to be presented to you, and I want to be there first to say how sorry I am. And he's like, no, don't worry. You don't need to. It's fine. You did an amazing event. And I said to him, you know what? It's not even about this anymore. I need to go and build technology for us. I need to digitalize this industry. I don't want to work like this anymore. I just don't. I don't want to work through the night, rebuild everything that I'd been on 4 site tours that I really thought I knew what I'm doing. But I'm not an architect at the end of the day, right? I'm just not.
Right.
And that's what happened. Out of pure frustration, I found myself a team and we started to build. And I just decided, you know what, Tara, it's not that we are amazing at what we do. We know everything we do is perfect. We know how to work, but we don't have the technology or the tools to help us be efficient, even more efficient, save us time. Look how much time we save now when we use AllSeated. We can build floor plans in minutes.
Yes.
Think about how much time we were spending. And it's the PDFs, right? All the changes. I would talk to my teams of, we're never one person running an event, right? We're always a team of people running an event. So what happens, you're sitting around with like 10 people that are part of the team. It would take me 20 minutes into the conversation to realize one person in the team's on PDF 8, one person on the team is on PDF 2, one person on the team is on PDF 10. None of us are even looking at the same PDF floor plan.
Oh my goodness. So
and don't get me started on the guest list.
Yes, that's a whole nother story. A whole nother story. So with AllSeated, who do you see within our industry that is using it the most?
So we see the planners are really the biggest users of the product. They are by far, we have today 35% of all the planners in the United States are using AllSeated, which is a really amazing number, and we're very proud of it. We have about 15% of venues using the product, which also really like it, and especially the off-premise venues that don't have access to more of the the booking systems that they have in the system or some other technology that they have. And today we're finding a lot of caterers are finding us and using us. They're also, today caterers can be considered like venues almost, because they have exclusives with venues. So they are really doing everything from the setup to the layout, because the venues are just kind of just renting them the space, especially off premise.
Right.
So, but I think our biggest users today are still the planners.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So you're coming to the Signature CEO Conference, and your talk is going to be on the Technology Toolkit, apps that are going to save us time. So kind of tell everyone a little bit about that. Okay.
So without giving away my entire presentation, because I want you to come, this is a plug for you to come. I am not 20 years old, as you can see. I mean, I do look young, but I'm definitely not a millennial, and I'm not in that range of like growing up in that industry of technology. And there are many of us out there, right? We're not all from the millennial world. And I think that there's a lot of us out there that have a fear of technology. And I'm not sure it's a fear, but we have this like, sense that it's not for me. It's for my 20-year-old that works in the office, or it's for my, it's for my intern that's coming for the summer, but it's not for me. And I want to convince you that technology today is for everybody. There's no age in technology today. Technology is a helper in our lives that everybody needs. We're a company of 35 people, and we really should be about 80 people in our company. But because we use technology, we can adapt ourselves to streamline what we need to do through technology. And everybody should be doing that. It's not just high-tech companies that are, comfortable with it. It's every single person. There is a product for every single person, whether you're a company of 2, whether you're a company of 20, whether you're a company of 100. There are products out there that are available for you. And not only am I going to talk about products that are good for you, I'm going to talk about the free products, because there are so many free products out there that you don't even know about, that actually don't even cost you a penny, or maybe will cost you $10 a month, okay, which I consider free. I mean, that's not an investment, And that's what I want to talk about. I want to share with you that there's no fear in technology, that products out there are helpers, that are there to save you time and really make your life easier.
And I see, as entrepreneurs, sometimes we are the one person within our company that's trying to do everything. So the technology will help us to streamline our business.
Absolutely. Technology today is your extra person, is your extra arm, is out there to just make your life easier. It's to really help you build more and more efficiency into your business. And today, as we grow our businesses and we want the option to grow them, we need it. Think about how many hours we spend through our emails. I'm going to introduce you to a tool that's going to change your life. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but I'm going to help you. And just lots and lots of different apps for our phones that will, save time for us, and lots of different things. And nothing is difficult, because I promise you, if I can do it, and even though I'm around technology all the time, it doesn't matter. I walk into my office where my developers sit, and they always cringe a little bit. Oh God, she's here, because they know that if I can't do it, they have to go back to the drawing board. They can't. I'm not releasing anything that I can't do. And that's how we built AllSeated. AllSeated was built for a mass market. Every single person can be trained on AllSeated. And, we run webinars, and the webinars are for 30 minutes, and within 15 minutes, half the people drop off because they figured it out. They know. That's it. I got it.
Okay. And what do you see as one of the biggest changes within the industry?
So I think within our industry, what I love about it is that technology is coming into the events. And I'm not just talking about like efficiency tools. Technology is coming in to bring helping trends. So we see like amazing 3D cameras coming in, and VR that's coming in to view everything in 3D, which is really amazing. Like you're at an event and, you can suddenly see the bride dancing, or if the lighting's right, you can see everything in 3D or holograph, which is really amazing. You've got the the drones that go over the events. I mean, Tara, you know a lot about this as well, that are videoing everything in 3D. or 360 environments, which is also really, really cool.
Right.
You've got the brides, which I love this. The brides that have got like cameras in their bouquets, right? Their wedding bouquets. And as they're walking down, they're like videoing everything. They're videoing their feelings. They're videoing everything. I love that. I love live streaming, which is what you do a lot of. I think that's amazing. I think about all the people that can't come to a wedding, or you've got family that's sick, or people that are abroad. So live streaming wedding, which didn't exist 2 or 3 years ago, is becoming really popular. And I think that's amazing. And one of my favorites of my favorites, which I love, is the 3D printing. So 3D printing is like accessible now for not only, I mean, it's not so heavily done on the social, except that you can do a 3D cake. You can have a 3D cake today printed and edible, of course. But in corporate areas, the 3D printing is becoming very, very popular and affordable because they're printing like bands, they're printing badges on the spot that are in 3D printing, and they can make it into a shape of their actual logo. And they're doing some very, very cool stuff in that respect. So I love how they're bringing technology actually into running events.
Okay, awesome. Technology is where it's at.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
And with your session at the conference, what is it that you want the attendees to walk away with?
So my last slide is that if you try one of the apps that I give you, I'm satisfied. I'm not asking you to try everything, okay? I don't think that you have to try everything. But if there is one app that you walk away with and you try, and that brings you happiness and some simplicity and saves you some time in your company, then I did it. That's all I ask. Just try one.
Okay. All right.
Is that fair? Is that fair? Would you say that's fair?
That is fair. That is fair.
Right.
So we have a viewer on here. So viewer, if you have any questions, please send that information now. You can write it on the chat screen, or you can text it to 571-402-4594. And while we're waiting on you, I just want to let you know that to attend the Signature CEO Conference, it will be held on October 31st and November 1st at the Samuel Riggs Alumni Center on the campus of the University of Maryland. Go Terps. And to register, all you need to do is go to our website, which is www.thesignatureceo.com. And registration does end on Monday, October 3rd. So please, please, please go ahead, register, get your colleagues to register. We want to fill the house and just have a good time. You're going to see some dynamic speakers. You're going to walk away with some tangible action items that you can implement in your business. You're going to meet some dynamic people that are with our wedding industry, and we're going to have a lot of good food. I can tell you that because I like good food.
So I have to tell you, I was there last year, and Tara could not be telling you more of the truth. It was an amazing event. I hadn't met Tara, just heard about this event in Washington, and we thought that's a cool event. And I actually liked what she did already, just the way she produced it through social media last year. But we were blown away. The whole 2 days were amazing. The speakers were incredible. The audience participation was amazing. The networking, the dynamics there. I mean, I cannot say enough good things, and I'm not being paid for this. I actually am paying to go. So
thank you so much. I am so appreciative of your support.
A really good investment for companies. It's not a huge price, and I think that you'd be making a really, really good investment for your company. And I'm a big believer, by the way, that businesses have to grow from CEOs and management to go to these events to learn. You can't bring innovation if you're not inspired. Innovation comes into companies through inspiration, and inspiration comes from going to these events, from networking, from being around people like Tara and the people that she brings in. And you need to bring that back to your companies, and you need to inspire so that innovation can happen in your company.
Wonderful. I couldn't have said it better than myself. Thank you. Well, anyway. Do we have any questions? No questions out there.
It's too late. People have gone home, Tara. You'll have to promote this.
I know,
too late.
right?
Everyone's already gone to bed. Or they're drinking. They're out drinking already.
If I didn't have a wedding this weekend, I would be drinking right now myself, but I have work to do. But I do thank everyone for joining us this evening. Again, please register for the Signature CEO Conference. It is October 31st and November 1st. Visit our website at www.thesignatureceo.com. Any questions that you may have about the conference, there's a link on there for you to ask your questions. All the information is there, information about our speakers. Share this video with people that you know. And last but not least, I want to say thank you to Miss Sandy Hammer of AllSeated, not only for being on here tonight, but for your support of the Signature CEO Conference.
Pleasure. Really excited to be with you, Tara. Thanks very much for having us.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, everyone, and good night. And we will see you again soon. Bye.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Good night.